I think that being from two different places means that you're neither from one or the other. You're never fully from one place or the other, and I think it sort of put me in this position where I consider things from a kind of outsider perspective. So because I don't feel like I'm from anywhere necessarily, I feel more like I'm always contextualizing where I'm in rather than trying to represent it or trying to identify with it even. I think the process of painting is, for me at least, is very much like a way to understand the chaos of the present, because you can never, the present is inherently chaotic and you don't know until it's gone what it really means. And there's something about painting that is really, you're being present with the painting in that moment. And so I think you have to bring in different elements of intention and a kind of subconscious automatic kind of like truthful authenticity. But if you go full automatic, you're going to hit a ceiling of how you understand things in a larger way. But if you go full like pre-planned, intentional, then you lose a bit of that rawness and that energy that is like, even in a textural way, is just going to represent how it feels to like be in that moment. So I guess there's a lot of trying to catch things and like not quite catching it, but then when you do catch it and you capture that rawness with the intention of the larger story, that's when you can get something that feels authentic and magical. But you do have to kind of wade through the chaos of the real. Like painting is the perfect medium for representing almost like a four-dimensional, like five-dimensional experience that traverses temporality and space and the inner world and the outer world. I don't think there's a lot of other mediums where you literally start with a blank canvas and you have to like create every single building block, every single set, like aspect of space, every single shadow, every single texture comes from a decision that you make and an intention, subconscious or otherwise. And so I think painting more than anything else is kind of the perfect medium to explore that in a sense. I ended up for my degree show doing a sort of performance where I stretched a painting on top of another one, so there was one hidden behind, and it was like a nice landscape, and then behind it had Amy Winehouse, and I cut through the first one to reveal Amy Winehouse underneath. And it was sort of, I guess it was about the sanctity of painting and of the subject, and I think I just wanted to finish on something a bit stronger than having a painting on the wall. But that kind of sparked the idea of maybe there's more possibilities. So when I was in Brighton, I had a wood workshop and I was making paintings with holes in and paintings with screws coming through the canvas, and I was sticking bits of wood together, and it was just another terrain of expression. And I think I got quite interested in the idea of treating the canvas as almost like a body, really engaging with the like materiality of the object of the painting. Sort of like I let the difficult experiences that I've sort of been through, and those like human things that we all go through that are hard to place and that are hard to find, it's hard to find meaning in something like that. And I think I let that kind of creep into the work rather than be something that I confront directly. Like obviously I lost my dad when I was like 15, but I don't talk about that directly in the work, because I also think like the way that I make things is I'd rather insist on the things that I choose and then have that background element of the things that I didn't choose to happen informing the perspective, but not like being the thing that I put out forward, or be this like defined thing, because it's never defined as well. But letting that like just kind of creep in, I think it just, again, it gives that more kind of like more layered approach to it, and you can find the poetry in it as well. Yeah, I think I like taught myself how to draw from a really young age, and it was something that I found quite hard. So I kind of stuck at it, and I never necessarily thought I was going to be an artist, but something about drawing just really stuck with me, and it went from being kind of a hobby or something to learn to like a way to self-express, I suppose. But I think that interest in like always learning kind of like carried on. So I have like quite I like to have a good like foundation of technique, especially drawing technique, in what I do, just so that if I need to create like a space, even an imagined space, like I have that, I can do that. I know how to like break down form and shadow and perspective and space, and all those things are just kind of tools in the toolkit of creating images. At the same time, I also think having like not a purely technical relationship to like my drawing ability, and having a creative relationship as well. So I'm very like inspired by novelty and new things, and I'm always changing. If I'm like priming the back of the canvas instead of the front and then painting on it, or using water-based oil paint and then wetting the canvas and then painting on it so it's really inky, or like cutting up bits of wood to make a new kind of canvas, and then all of those things, it's like something new to kind of hold on to, and yeah, I think like the technical aspect is like really enriching as well. It just takes you to new places all the time.